Hey everybody, this is Valencia and welcome to my channel Balloons and Business, where I show you the business of balloon and event decor. So today I'm going to show you how I made this boho chic teddy bear themed baby shower setup. Now teddy bear baby showers have been all the rage over the past couple years, and I don't see them going out of style anytime soon, possibly because of the neutral color palette that you can adjust to either gender of the child. So if you want to see how I made this, just stay tuned. So I'm using all Sempertex brand balloons: eucalyptus, latte, white sand, satin pearl, and fashion blush. So I'm going to be double stuffing one of my colors. I'm going to put the blush inside of the satin pearl to make a very pretty faint blush color, and I've done this several times before. It's a popular color. I'm going to round my balloons out, releasing air by pushing on the top and releasing air from the bottom. And I'm going to take the inside next, which is the blush next, and then I'm going to tie those together. Make sure you tie the inside necks together when you are tying double stuffed balloons. So I used 5-inch balloons in all of the colors, 11-inch balloons in all of the colors, 18-inch balloons in all of the colors except for the satin pearl and the blush mixed color. I did use one 24-inch balloon with the double stuffed blush and satin pearl color. So now I'm twisting my dupes together into clusters, and I am double twisting the dupes in. So I'm twisting them around 2 times to make sure they're in there nice and secure. I'm twisting together 5 dupes per cluster, so that's a total of 10 balloons. And I twisted together 3 11-inch dupes and 2 18-inch dupes. Now to make my balloon garland base, I twisted together 8 of these clusters, 2 of each color. Now I'm going to connect my clusters together by tying them together by the necks of the balloons. I'm going to take one neck from one balloon in one cluster, a neck from another balloon in another cluster, and then just tie them together. And this is how I'm making the base to my balloon garland. So I ended up separating my balloon garland into 2 pieces, and each piece is going to have all 4 colors. So that's a cluster of eucalyptus, a cluster of latte, a cluster of white sand, and a cluster of the double stuffed peach color per piece. Now you decide whatever order you want to put the colors in. It's all up to you. Now the reason why I decided to make my garland into 2 pieces is because it's going to be easier to transport in my van. I'm going to connect these 2 pieces when I get to the site. So lately I've been focusing on getting backdrops that are easy to transport and carry around. So I've been getting more collapsible backdrops I can put up and put down very easily. So I got this backdrop stand from eFavorMart, and I'll put the link in the description box below. I also bought a spandex cover to go over it. And if you guys seen these round backdrops, a lot of them are made out of wood. So I bought the spandex cover to make it a lot easier for me to transport. So I'm going to show you how I hang my neon sign using some backdrop clamps and some fishing line. I got those clamps off of Amazon. I'll put the link in the description box below, as well as the link to where I got my neon sign from as well. So I'm going to slip some fishing line through the holes of that neon sign, and I'm going to tie it 3 to 4 times around that hole. You want to make sure that you tie it in a knot 3 to 4 times, because if you only do it once or twice, fishing line is very fine and it will slip right out of the knot. So you don't want that to happen. So do it 3 to 4 times. Before you cut your fishing line, you want to make sure that you leave enough slack that you can adjust the length of the sign onto the backdrop. So make sure you leave yourself enough length of the fishing line before cutting it. You want to make sure that both sides of the fishing line are as even as possible. So right now I'm comparing the lengths of the fishing line before I cut to make sure that they're even in length as much as possible, because this is going to make it easy to get my sign nice and even on the backdrop. So now I'm going to take my backdrop clamp, and I'm going to push the fishing line in the mouth of the backdrop clamp, and I'm going to triple tie that fishing line around the clamp. Again, you want to make sure you tie it at least 3 to 4 times because that fishing line is really fine and it will come out of the knot. Now I'm going to do is I'm going to put the fishing line over the mouth and under the legs, over the mouth and under the legs, as you see me doing. I'm going to show it to you again. So again, I'm going to triple tie that fishing line around the mouth of the clamp. And then I'm going to wrap that fishing line into the mouth and under the legs, into the mouth, under the legs, into the mouth, under the legs. And I'm going to keep doing that until I get it to the length that I want or height that I want on the backdrop. Now, this is a trial and error situation, okay? So once you put it on there, you may find that the sign is uneven. So what you will do is you can adjust the clamps and you can push them further up the circle or back down to adjust the height, or you can take the clamps off and then take the clamps off and wrap the fishing line around the clamps again. So now that I got my sign the way that I want it, I'm going to take some more backdrop clamps and I'm going to tie some 260Q balloons around those clamps. Now these are Sempertex brand, and I'll leave the link in the description box below as well as the information for all of the balloons that I used. And I'm just going to put these clamps around one side of my backdrop. And this is how I'm going to attach my balloon garlands to the backdrop. Now I'm going to show you how I attach my two pieces together. I'm taking a 260Q balloon, tying it around a few balloons in one piece, and then I'm going to wrap it around a couple balloons in the other piece, and then just tie that 260Q balloon into itself. And then I'm going to connect that other piece onto the backdrop. So that is how I put my balloon garland onto my backdrop stand. Now don't be afraid to play around with the shape of your balloon garlands. You can go ahead on and shape it around your backdrop, which I like to do especially with the round backdrops. And I'm going to be adding some more clusters of balloons using 260 balloons. I'm just doing the same thing, tying it around the cluster and then wrapping it around a few balloons in the pre-existing balloon garland. Now I want the bottom of my balloon garland to spread out. I want it to touch the floor and spread outward. So that's what I'm doing. I'm also going to be adding more clusters to fill in the balloon garland and give it more shape and fullness. So instead of using my wood shearer wall, I decided to buy this arch frame, and I've used this in another video before, but it just saves so much time and it makes transportation so much easier. And I bought this spandex cover to put on top of it. And the cool thing about it is that those spandex covers come in various colors, so I don't have to spend money and time trying to paint my wood wall. This just makes things so much easier. So I'm attaching this ball of balloons that I just twisted together, just like I twisted my original clusters to my balloon garland. I just twisted together dupes to make this ball of a balloon. And I'm just attaching it with my backdrop clamps. Also tied a piece of ribbon around the teddy bear's neck, then use a backdrop clamp to connect that teddy bear to the arch. Now I'm going to be adding small clusters of 5-inch decorators to my balloon garland. I'm going to be connecting 2 clusters of 4 using a 260 balloon and just wrapping it around a few balloons in the balloon garland. And I'm doing this to fill in gaps and to add more complexity to my balloon garland, as well as give it a more polished look. You want to make sure that you double wrap your 5-inch decorators into the balloon garland so that they will not pop out of the balloon garland. I'm also adding some 5-inch balloons to that small ball of balloons just to give it a more finished look. Now, just to note, it was windy outside, so whenever you do outdoor parties, make sure you have plenty of weights for your backdrops and your balloons. Now I'm going to be adding some dried palm leaves. I'm going to put a balloon at the bottom of the palm leaves to prevent them from popping the balloons, and I'm just going to carefully add them into the balloon garland. And I'm also going to be adding some pampas grass as well. So here's the finished product to the boho chic teddy bear themed baby shower setup. Now to finish this whole look, I added a pedestal and a faux floral arrangement. And the arrangement had dried palm leaves, pampas grass, faux roses, dry baby's breath, and faux hydrangeas. If you want to see how I made that arrangement, I will leave the link to the video in the description box below. Now, if you're going to do this setup, I would recommend a 2-hour preparation time to make the arrangement and the balloon garland, and a 2-hour setup time. So if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, go ahead on and like it, and please subscribe, and you'll get notification on future videos on balloon and event decor. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.